So if there is one thing that we all understand or that we all are looking for, it's to discover who I am. And that purpose, that seeking to find your purpose, happens in every step of your life, at every stage. See, the problem is we limit ourselves too much. We limit ourselves to our body and to our mind, to our thoughts and to our perspectives. That's all we know, right? What do we understand from who you are? It's this body that that you are. This is me. Very clearly this is me. And or else I'm the personality, the mind, the thoughts that I have, the different perspectives and beliefs that I hold on to. That's what we think we are. And that's how we relate to the world. A collection of thoughts become a belief system, and you believe in that. And if you believe in that, then that is your belief, whether it's based on anything or not, and you tend to reject what is the other. The entire world is viewed through the lens of your mind. And when you look at the world as something outside of yourself, everything outside of you becomes matter. Things, objects. Whenever you are viewing through the lens of your mind, everything else is always matter. And when you look around you, you look at creation, you say, how wonderful is everything, how beautiful is the sky, and look at the trees around me and the birds, and everything is so beautiful, and my family and my children and the body, and look at how fantastic the body is and what great things we can do, and the animals, look at the animal kingdom, this is so fantastic. It couldn't have been me. It's got to be something bigger than me that created all this, something better than me, something that has much more power than me. Because all of this could not have been just created by another man. And so you give it a lot of power. And you call that power God. God is you reaching your highest self through your mind. And that is one way. That is one way of doing it. You either do it through knowing or you do it through belief. Neither is right, neither is wrong. When you do it through knowing, that is the direct path. When you do it through belief, that is a much more indirect path where you give up a certain amount of the power to an outside force, which you call God. And you believe that if you follow a certain trajectory, a certain order, then you will reach or you will attain whatever you need to attain. That is, if you keep praying, if you go to the temple regularly, if you do your regular prayers, and you follow the correct, read the correct books, then automatically everything will become good for you. Everything will work out well in your life. And that is the path of belief, where you give the power of making things manifest in this world a bigger boost, right? And it's placed somewhere else, and then you imagine that if this power can create all this wonderful stuff, all this beautiful stuff, then the place where this person resides must be even bigger, even better. And that place is called heaven. And this is exactly because we live in a world where we think that we are the mind and everything is matter, and therefore what is beyond mind and matter is God. And that is the path, and because we feel that we are just unable to do this on our own, that belief is needed. It's like an invisible spine, which it helps you to stand up straight. It gives you that ability to go through all these difficult things that we have to go through. And we go through difficult things every single day. Each one of us is in a different place. Each one of us is facing something different. Somebody is having a health problem. Somebody is having a job problem. Somebody is having an issue with a girlfriend or a boyfriend. I found a boyfriend. I can't find a boyfriend. I don't like my boyfriend. I like my life. I don't like my life. I want another life. And what helps you through it? Please, God, make it all go away. It's all going to happen. God is on my side. Right? And that gives that belief that God, somebody outside of you, somebody that's an object for your mind, is going to help you, gives you strength to do all the things that you do. And that is why I would say more than 90% of this world has a faith-based life. They spend a certain amount of time each week and each month and each year thinking about God, especially when things are not going well. Especially it is the perfect time for surrender when life is not good. Then you fall back on your belief system. You fall back on your faith. That's what they call it. It's wrongly called faith in this country, because faith is really about all that exists, right? To believe that things work in a certain way. What I'm asking you to do, or what I keep talking about, is this constant awareness. To go the other way, instead of looking for an object in your life, to go back into the source. And you will arrive at the same destination. This omnipotent, ever-present God that makes things happen, that makes things work in your life, that is always this presence, that is always your support. You'll arrive at it through something else. Through dropping the idea of an object, of your salvation being in any object. Why? Because if you look at the world, everything that you see, everything that you come across, every thought that passes your mind is an experience. And it exists. That thought, even if it's a fear-filled thought, even if it's an evil thought, even if it's something that's not worthy of you, as long as it is there, it exists. Do you agree? That everything in this world, everything in this room shares one thing in common: its own existence. Your existence. You're quite aware that you exist. Right? And you exist when you are awake, you exist when you are asleep, you exist when you're in front of me, you exist when you're outside, you exist in the car, you existed when you were a child, you exist when you were in middle age, you existed when you were a baby. All through your life, if there is one thing that has been always there, is this idea of I am. something that is aware, something that actually exists, makes things exist. If you take away the entire paradigm of your mind, then this person that you're seeing, what happens if you don't have your mind telling you that I am Kanchana and I am talking about something? What remains? My presence, my words, and hearing some noise. Right? That's all that remains. That experience. And today what we are sharing is an experience also. And that experience, that consciousness exists everywhere. If you understand that all things exist and you believe that we exist right now, then everything shares that one common thing. And that existence is God. And I'm just approaching it from a very different perspective, a perspective of the source. It is that in which everything exists. So you are not made up of consciousness. You are not made up of Brahman. You exist in it. And in that lies the power. That's where you realize that the power that all this while you'd given to someone else, to God, by doing certain acts, by, being very faithful, going to the church, performing your namaz 5 times a day, whatever what was your form of prayer, can now be approached directly through your experience by dropping the idea of the mind. The finite mind can never see awareness. Why? Because the mind only allows you to make sense of things with your senses. So, what do the eyes see? Objects. What do the tongue taste? Foods. So you have your sense of taste, you have your sense of touch, you have your sense of hearing. Everything is an experience. Everything is an experience. As long as you go through mind, there's only matter outside, and that's the pathway to faith in God. But there is a back door. There is a little back door that you can access directly through your own experience, just by knowing that I am. Aham Brahma Asmi. This is the eternal truth. This is the Advaita Vedanta approach to existence, to knowledge. This is the direct path to enlightenment. You don't have to sit for 12 years under a Bodhi tree to get that enlightenment. Your journey begins right now in that knowledge that it is right here. I am that. Tat Tvam Asi. That is a Mahavakya also from Upanishads, that you are that which you seek. Just acknowledging that I exist, I know, not takes you away from thought and belief, which will always lead you down a different path. Your belief is based on your experience, which may not always be true, your thoughts, which may not always be true. But for you, in your limited experience, that's what exists. And so you follow that. And that's why we have people following one faith or another, one party or another, one government or another. People make choices based on that. But we want to get away from this world of opposites and of choosing. We want to get away from the turmoil of life. We want to live our life effortlessly. We want peace, we want joy, we want happiness at every turn. We want to do all of this effortlessly. But our beliefs and our thoughts and our systems weigh us down. They weigh us down. Now somebody dies in your family and you're worried, if I don't perform the ceremonies every month, will something happen to me? Will something happen to my children? Will I face some sort of a curse? Right? We are so bogged down with our belief systems. If we don't act and talk in a certain way, will we be outcast from our group of friends because we're thinking outside the box? You do away with all that. You do away with all that. The only thing that matters is Atma Vichara, a self-inquiry, that inquiry into who I am. And at this moment, if you can just recognize, drop it all, just for this 1 second, and just feel, close your eyes, and just feel that you exist, that you are aware of that existence. And you'll hit a wall. You'll hit a wall because you can't see the person that's aware. You want to see that person. You want to hear that person. Why is God not talking to me? You want to feel that person, right? But you're looking again for objects. And objects can only exist in your mind. We are attempting to move beyond the mind. Beyond the mind. Just begin with that premise. And every time it overwhelms you, things overwhelm you, you realize that it's your beliefs that are coloring everything. Because after all, why do we say that what Hitler did is evil? What happened were a series of actions over which you impose your belief. This doing such and such thing is a bad thing. Behaving in this way is a good thing. We label everything. We label and we judge everything with our minds. But actually all of these things merely exist in consciousness. They just exist. The rest of it is our beliefs and our thoughts that we are imposing on it. Get back to that reality that I alone exist. Existence alone exists. Awareness alone exists. Everything is an experience, nothing more. These thoughts, these ideas, once you begin that to say it to yourself, you'll start to see it a lot more in your interactions with people and with things around you. And it'll become a reality and you will be away from all of this madness of life. And if you don't understand what I said, never mind, because nothing matters. Om Namah Shivaya.